The Lion and the Mouse. A lion was sleeping in a forest. A small mouse crept up to him. "Since he's sleeping," thought the mouse, "he'll never suspect I'm here." With that, the little mouse began running up and down upon him. This soon wakened the lion. And quickly got the mouse between its claws. "Pardon, O King, let me go," said the mouse, "and I'll come back and help you someday." The lion laughed. "Ha ha ha! You are so small! How could you ever help me?" The lion was so tickled at the idea of the mouse being able to help him that he lifted up his paw and let him go. Sometime after, the lion was caught in a net spread by a hunter. He roared, he wept, but he couldn't pull himself free. Just then, the little mouse happened to pass by, and seeing the sad plight in which the lion was, went up to him. It started cutting the net with its teeth. In a short while, the mouse was able to set the lion free again. The lion turned to the mouse and said, "Dear friend, I was foolish to ridicule you for being small. You helped me by saving my life after all." Moral: everything has its own value. The Ant and the Parrot. Once upon a time, in the animal kingdom, there lived an ant. One day, the ant realized that he did not have enough water in his barrel. So he went out in search of some. After walking a while, he came across a river. And just as he stooped to reach the water, he slipped and he fell into it. He struggled to come out, but to no avail. His continuous shouts for help went unheard because of the unknown nature of the location of the river. The ant did his best to come out, but was swept away by the flowing water. He got very tired. Minutes later, he saw a parrot on one of the trees. The ant realized that it was his last hope. So with the little strength left in him, he called out for help. "Save me! Save me!" The parrot heard the call for help and flew down closer to the river. "Who is there?" the parrot shouted. "It's me," Ant replied. The parrot finally located the ant. The ant cried out, "Please save me. Someday I would repay you for this kind act of yours." The parrot laughed over the statement because she considered the ant too little an animal to offer any assistance to her. Nevertheless, she agreed to help him. She threw a leaf into the river and shouted to the ant to climb onto it. The leaf then floated to the side of the river, and with that, the ant was rescued. The ant thanked the parrot and reassured her that he would help her someday. Again, the parrot laughed over that and flew away. "How can a small ant like him help me?" she said to herself. Many months after that incident, a hunter came into the forest in search of an animal to kill for food. Luckily, he saw the parrot resting on a tree. "Ah," thought the hunter, "I will kill and eat this bird." The hunter got ready to take aim at the parrot with his gun. Just then, the ant happened to pass by and noticed the hunter taking aim. The ant said, "Oh no! He's trying to kill the very parrot who had saved my life. Now is the time to repay for the good deed she had done to me." Saying this, the ant walked towards the hunter. The ant got close to the hunter's leg and bit it as hard as it could. The hunter jumped and fired his gun into the air. The parrot was startled by the shot and flew away to safety. After moving to a safer place, she looked down and realized it was the ant that had saved her life. Later, when they met, she thanked him. "We will always be friends," she said. And the ant answered, "Sure, we will." Moral: one good turn deserves another. The Hare and the Lion. Once upon a time, there lived a lion in the jungle. He was very powerful and strong, and all the animals of the jungle feared him. But slowly, with time, he got tired of hunting. He called all animals of the forest and passed an order. I would stop hunting down the animals in the forest, and in return, you would send one animal a day to my den, where I would kill the animal and eat it as my food. All animals, in fear of the lion's anger, started to obey this order. One day, it was the hare's turn to go into the lion's den. He was very sad. On his way to the lion's den, he came across an old well. He looked into it. It was very deep. As he looked on, an idea struck him. The lion was very angry that no animal had come that day. The hare slowly came towards the lion. The lion roared. "Why are you late?" The hare humbly replied.
On my way, I happened to meet another lion in the jungle. He kept claiming himself to be the king of the jungle and wanted to eat me. I got away with much difficulty to give my life to you, Your Majesty.
The lion was pleased with the hare, but the thought of another lion in the jungle made him angry. The lion roared. "Do you know where he lives?" The hare replied,
Yes, sir. Please come with me.
The hare took the lion to the old well. He said,
Sir, that lion lives in this well.
The lion peeped into the well. He mistook his reflection for another lion. He roared, and there was an echo. He thought that the other lion was roaring too, and jumped into the well. That was the end of the lion. The hare succeeded in his plan of outwitting the lion and went back happy that he managed to save his life along with the other animals' lives as well. Moral: wisdom can win might. A thirsty crow. There was a crow. On a very hot summer day, he was feeling very thirsty. He flew from place to place in search of water, but he could not find it anywhere. He was very sad and disappointed at not getting a single drop of water. Suddenly, he saw a jar of water. He flew down to the jar and sat on its edge. When he craned his beak to quench his thirst, he saw, to his great discouragement, that the water was at the bottom. His beak could not reach such a low level of water. He even tried to overturn the jar, but he could not. It was too heavy for him to move. When he was just about to fly, in despair, he thought of a plan. Suddenly, his eyes fell upon some pebbles lying near the jar. He flew to them, picked up the pebbles one by one, and dropped them into the jar. Slowly and slowly, the level of water arose and came up to the neck. The crow was overjoyed to see this. He dipped his beak, quenched his thirst, and flew away. Moral: where there is a will, there is a way. The Hare and the Tortoise. There once was a speedy hare who bragged about how fast he could run. Suddenly, he saw a tortoise walking slowly with a heavy shell on his back. He laughed at the tortoise and mocked him for his slow speed. The tortoise stretched out his long neck and challenged the hare to a race, which of course made the hare laugh. A race? Indeed, a race. Oh, what fun! My, a race, of course, Mr. Tortoise. We shall race. All the animals in the forest gathered to watch. The race began, and the hare, being such a swift runner, soon left the tortoise far behind. He looked back at the tortoise and cried out, "How does he expect to win this race when he is walking along at such a slow pace?" He decided that he had time to take a little nap, and he cuddled up against a tree and dozed. Meanwhile, the tortoise walked and walked. He never ever stopped. Until he came to the finish line. The animals who were watching cheered so loudly for the tortoise, they woke up the hare. Time to get going, he thought, and off he went, faster than he had ever run before. He dashed as quickly as anyone ever could up to the finish line, where he met the tortoise, who was patiently awaiting his arrival. Moral: slow and steady wins the race. The Fox and the Crow. A fox was walking through the forest when he saw a crow sitting on a tree branch with a fine piece of cheese in her beak. He said, "I would like to have a bite of that cheese. It will be easy to get some." He walked up to the foot of the tree. "What a noble and gracious bird I see in the tree," said the fox. "How glossy your feathers, how bright your eye. I feel sure your voice must surpass that of other birds. It will please my ears to hear you sing a little melody." Well, the crow was so flattered on hearing such complimentary talks that he opened up his beak and began to squawk and sing. Down fell the cheese into the waiting mouth of the fox below. "Oh no!" squawked the crow. "You've stolen my dinner." "That will do," said the fox. "That was all I wanted. In exchange for your cheese, I will give you a piece of advice for the future. Do not trust flatterers." Moral: beware of flattery. The Fox and the Grapes. Long, long ago, there lived a fox who loved to eat. One day, he was strolling through the woods. He came upon a grape orchard. There, he found a bunch of beautiful grapes hanging from a high branch. Grapes had never looked so good, and the fox felt very hungry. However, the grapes hung higher than the fox could reach. He backed up and took a running start and jumped. He did not get high enough. He went back to his starting spot and tried again. He almost got high enough this time, but not quite. He tried and tried, again and again, but just couldn't get high enough to grab the grapes. Finally, he gave up. As he walked away, he put his nose in the air and said, "I am sure those grapes are sour." Moral: it is easy to scorn what you cannot get. The Greedy Mouse. Once upon a time, a greedy mouse was passing through the fields. Suddenly, his eyes fell upon a basket which was full of corns. He started to drool. He wanted to have all of it. He ran towards the basket. On reaching the basket, he found it to be quite big for him to climb up and in. So he made a small hole in the basket. He squeezed himself through the hole. He started to eat the corns. There was no stopping him, and he ate and ate. At last, he was done eating. Now he wanted to come out. He tried to come out through the small hole. He just could not. His belly wouldn't let him come out. On account of overeating, his belly had bulged out. The mouse started crying. At the same time, a rabbit was passing by. It heard the mouse's cry and asked, "Why are you crying, my friend?" The mouse explained, "I made a small hole and came into the basket to eat the corns. Now I am not able to get out through that hole." The rabbit said, "It is because you ate too much. Wait till your belly shrinks." The rabbit laughed and went away. The mouse, out of no choice, fell asleep in the basket. Next morning, his belly had shrunk. But the greed in him again took over. He wanted to eat corn again, so he ate and ate. His belly was full and bulging out once again. He thought, "Oh, now I will go out tomorrow." The next passerby was a cat. He smelt the mouse in the basket. He jumped into the basket and ate the mouse. Moral: too much greed is harmful. The Fox and the Goat. It was a hot summer day. A thirsty fox was looking around for a place to quench his thirst. He came across a well that had water in it. He got down into the well and quenched his thirst.
Now, how am I going to get out of here?
He said, looking up at the top of the well. Just then, a thirsty goat came to the well. He looked down and was surprised to see the fox in the water. "What are you doing down there?" asked the goat.
I came down to get some of the wonderful cool water,
said the fox, pretending everything was all right.
Come on down and try some. It's the best water you'll ever taste,
he shouted up at the goat.
And there isn't any more water for miles.
I'm thirsty, and that water does look so good, thought the goat. Okay, look out! I'm coming down, the goat shouted to the fox as he jumped down into the well. Just as the goat started drinking, the fox said,
There's one small problem. The top of the well is so high. It's going to be hard getting out of here. But don't worry, I have a plan. If you put your front feet on the wall of the well, I'll run up your back and jump up to the top. Once I'm out, I'll help you to get out too.
The goat did as he was told, and the fox leapt onto his back and then scrambled up out of the well.
That was a really good plan,
said the fox.
See you later,
he said, looking down at the goat. But what about me? cried the goat from the bottom of the well.
If you had brains, you would never have gone down there until you had worked out how to get out, said the fox. Have you ever heard the expression, look before you leap? Ha ha ha, laughed the fox
as he ran away. Moral: look before you leap. The Wolf and the Lamb. Long time ago, a shepherd lived in a small village. He used to take his sheep to the nearby forest for grazing. his flock, there was a little white lamb whom everybody loved. One day, when the shepherd had taken his flock for grazing, the little white lamb felt thirsty and started looking for water to drink. He wandered far off in the forest in search of water and got separated from his flock. When the lamb realized that it lost its way and was far away from the flock, it decided to join them. However, the lamb was stunned to see a hungry and cunning wolf standing behind it. The lamb realized that it stood no chance to escape from the wolf. The lamb asked the wolf, "Are you going to eat me?" The wolf said,
Yes, for sure.
The lamb said again, "But just to bring to your notice, I have just eaten a lot of grass and it is not yet digested. If you eat me now, your stomach may get upset because of the raw grass in my belly." The wolf anxiously asked him,
Well, what do you suggest then?
The witty little lamb said,
I think that doing some kind of physical exercise will help me digest the grass quickly. I am a very good dancer. So if you permit, I will start dancing.
The wolf was getting impatient to eat the lamb, so he permitted the lamb to start dancing. When the little lamb started to dance, the bell around the lamb's neck started ringing. The lamb danced vigorously so that the sound of the bell grew louder and louder. Meanwhile, the shepherd was searching for the little lamb and heard the bell's sound. He saw the wolf and the lamb. He ran towards the wolf with a stick. On seeing the shepherd with the stick, the wolf ran away and the lamb was saved. Moral: physical strength isn't just sufficient. Sometimes weaker people with smart mind can overcome the physically strong ones.